Once more, it is a pleasure to get across to you through this particular medium. We are going to discuss a topic which is a continuation of the one that we discussed before, that is determination and interpretation of accounting ratios, and which is a topic under financial accounting. But before we go ahead and look at this particular topic, I want you to get all those materials that will support you during the course of this particular class. Before we go ahead and look at this particular topic, let us quickly run through the learning objective. The first one is that you should be able to explain various accounting ratios. 2, you should be able to calculate these accounting ratios. 3, you should be able to interpret various accounting ratios. What is the meaning of ratios? We've mentioned this before, and we are only going to revisit it once more. So, ratio, it is simply a relationship existing between two figures. For example, when you have 1/2. So that is a form of a relationship between 1 and 2. There is a form of relation between 1 and 2 in that type of situation. And as such, we can say that we can write it and say that 1:2. Then number 2, you should be able to use and interpret financial statement. Use and interpret financial statement. 3, help in comparing different items in the final accounts. We are going to look at an example to drive in all these objectives. For example, we are asked to use the information below to determine the various ratios and state their meanings. We are given sales to be 45,000, opening stock 20,000, closing stock 30,000, expenses 15,000, fixed assets 40,000, debtors 10,000, creditors 5,000, purchases 25,500. You are asked to calculate A, cost of goods sold, B, net profit, C, current ratio, D, working capital, E, gross profit percentage, F, net profit, and G, rate of stock turnover. In solving the above question, we can start by determining the cost of goods sold. So we are given that sales is equal to 45,000 naira. Therefore, to determine the cost of goods sold, so it's going to be the opening stock, which is 20,000, plus the purchases, which is 25,000, and that will give us 45,000 naira. Now, from that 45,000 naira, we are going to deduct 30,000 naira, and that will give us that 30,000 naira is the opening, it is the closing stock, so that will give us 15,000 naira. Now, so it means the cost of goods sold is this 15,000 naira. Now to determine the gross profit, so it's going to be our sales, which is 45,000 naira minus this 15,000 naira, and that will give us 30,000 naira. Then the expenses was given to be 15,000. So if you take away this 15,000 naira from the gross profit, so that will give us our net profit, which is 15,000 naira. So from the above, we've determined the cost of goods sold to be equal to 15,000 naira, then the net profit to be equal to 15,000 naira, and the current ratio, therefore, is obtained by the relationship current asset over current liability. So we can go ahead and determine the current asset. So the current asset will be equal to the debtors plus closing stock, because these two are the only current asset materials that are here. So, and that will give us the value of the debtors is equal to 10,000 and the closing stock is 30,000, and that will give us 10,000 plus 30,000, that will give us 40,000. And the current liability that we have there is 5,000 naira. Now, the current ratio will be equal to the current asset over the current liability, which is equal to 40,000 over 5,000 naira, which is equal to 8 over 1, and which is equal to 8:1. The next one we'll be looking at is the working capital. So working capital is determined by the relationship current asset minus current liabilities. So from the above information, already we have the current asset to be 40,000 and the current liability to be equal to 5,000. Therefore, 40,000 naira minus 5,000 will give us 35,000. So the working capital is equal to 35,000. That is the amount or the fund that is available for the business to meet its immediate obligations. The next one we'll be looking at is gross profit percentage. So gross profit percentage is determined by dividing the gross profit by sales, then multiplying by 100%. And that will give us that will be equal to 30,000, which is the gross profit, over 40,000, which is the sales, times 100%. And that will give us 67%. So it means the business was able to use the volume of sales to generate 67% profit. Net profit percentage. Net profit percentage is equal to net profit over sales times 100%, which is equal to 15,000 naira over 45,000 naira times 100%, which is equal to 1/3%. So it means the business was able to use the sales of its goods of 45,000 to generate a net profit of 15,000 naira at the end of the day. Rate of stock turnover is equal to cost of goods sold over average stock. So the average stock here is equal to or the cost of goods sold here will be equal to 15,000 naira over the average stock. So the cost of goods sold is equal to 15,000. So the average stock will be equal to the opening stock plus the closing stock over 2. So which is equal to 20,000 plus 30,000 over 2. And that will give us a cost of goods sold, which is 15,000 over 20,000 plus 30,000 will give us 50,000. Divided by 2 will give us a 25,000. So it's going to be cost of goods sold, which is 15,000 over 25,000, which is equal to 0.06. And that is the number of times, 0.06 times. That's the number of times the whole stock was actually sold completely. Assignment. We are to use the following information from the books of Ayo Enterprises to answer the question below. Sales is equal to 45,000, opening stock equals to 20,000, closing stock equals to 30,000, expenses equals to 15,000, fixed assets equals to 40,000, debtors equals to 10,000 naira, creditors equals to 5,000 naira, purchases equals to 25,000 naira. We are expected to determine A, cost of goods sold, B, net profit, C, current ratio, D, working capital, E, the gross profit percentage, F, net profit percentage, and G, rate of stock turnover. Reference